Hey everyone, Nick here. I am starting my very own YouTube channel, and this is my inaugural video. So I apologize for a little bit of the clumsiness that'll probably happen, but I'm excited to talk horror movies, specifically the Halloween franchise. Probably a lot of Friday the 13th too. But yeah, so I'm excited to give my thoughts on a lot of the different aspects of the horror movies. Some of my favorite YouTubers that I just started watching and following are Dave McCrae, Wes Hightower, Cody Leach, and Lee McCoy. So I'm hoping to kind of follow in their footsteps and see what we can talk about. So my first video, don't really have anything specific I want to talk about, but just getting into a little bit of the Halloween franchise and things that are kind of underrated about that. Recently, we had some Halloween news where in 2020, October of 2020, Halloween Kills is going to come out, followed immediately the year after by 2021, Halloween Ends, which I know is a ridiculously bullshit title because it's not going to end, because it's going to make money and it's going to keep going. So just real briefly, I just kind of wanted to speak about some of the things that made Michael Myers scary in the original that hasn't really happened since then. And the first thing I want to just discuss are the daytime scenes. In the original Halloween, 1978, you saw Michael Myers in the daytime numerous times. You saw him standing outside the school when Laurie looked out the window. You saw him standing behind the bushes when Laurie and Annie are walking home after school. And then, of course, the famous scene where Laurie saw him outside her window in the laundry sheets. The thing about all those scenes that made it terrifying was Michael was always kept at a distance. You never really saw up close. That's one of the things that they've really missed in any daytime scenes in Halloween movies since. You get these close-up shots of the mask, and yeah, it's great. I love the mask, but it's not scary. Michael Myers in the distance is kind of like something's brewing out there, and he's just it's waiting to happen. Laurie sees him and then he's gone. It happened multiple times, and she thinks she's going crazy. Obviously she's not, because later in the movie he kills all her friends and comes after her. But those daytime scenes are some of the most vulnerable scenes of the movie, and it's just because he's off in the distance, and they haven't really captured that since then. Probably the movie, which is pretty ridiculous actually, but probably the movie that came closest to capturing some of those is Halloween 5, believe it or not. You had a scene in a field where was it Sam and Tina are talking, and in the background you see kind of Michael hiding behind a tree and things like that. So that's kind of some of the underrated stuff that happens in Halloween 5. Granted, the rest of the movie is a nightmare, but Halloween 5 came the closest, I think, to replicating some of the daytime scenes. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie is shit. So yeah. So one of the things I like from the new movies that are coming out here, besides them just fucking end it because they're ruining the character, is to replicate some of the daytime scenes. Who knows if that's going to happen? We have no idea on the plot. We know Jamie Lloyd. We know Laurie Strode is coming back. Jamie Lee Curtis. My thoughts on that are very disappointing. I'll probably do another video about this, but just my quick thoughts are, what is the point of getting rid of the brother-sister storyline if you're just going to have Michael go after Laurie Strode again? It had so much potential to go a different direction where Michael's stalking random people, which is obviously what the first movie was about. She wasn't his sister back then. Carpenter had a six-pack of beer, as the famous story goes, was forced to write a sequel, and he wrote that in. Probably had something to do with the reveal in The Empire Strikes Back, which came out, I think it was a year before, maybe two, but I think it was a year, but don't quote me on that. But, that just kind of that shock value. But what I'd really, not to go off on a tangent there, I'll do another video, but like I was saying, I would really like to see a Halloween movie that captures those daytime scenes again, where Michael is legitimately creepy. That is when he is the Shape. He's not Michael Myers, he's the Shape. The second these close-up shots happened, and you know, you see him walking and things like that. You know, he's Michael Myers, and yeah, he's wearing an awesome mask and his jumpsuit, and he's got a butcher knife, but he's not as scary as the Shape, who's just kind of the wind. You know, he's just brewing in the distance, watching. So that's just kind of my quick thoughts on the daytime scenes and what I'd like to see, how I'd like to see them replicated in the new movies coming out. I will continue to post some other thoughts and videos as I have them. Thanks for watching my initial video. Sorry for a little bit of the clunkiness as I'm new at this. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to have some cool graphics and figure out how to do that stuff. I know Cody Leach, who I follow and watch all his videos, is awesome at that stuff. But that's it. I am out. Have a good one.